What's up, YouTube? Minnie Minchino here, and welcome back to the Minnycast. This is a weekly podcast type show where I share with you updates, generally how I've been, and just sort of talk about something random. So our topic for today is teachers, actually, suggested by DJ Magic, aka Candido. Thanks again, baby. Yeah, it's basically going to be the good and the not so great. Before we get to that, though, I'd like to know how y'all have been. I always like to ask, because, just kind of, how can I make this sound less creepy? This is not what I was going for, actually. I just, I care about my viewers. Not that I have many, but I still care about them. So there you go. But yeah, I've been doing alright. Not too much of an eventful week, to be fair. I discovered that Dust Elysian Tale was on Switch, and turns out it's been there since September, and I felt really dumb. So I have it on Switch now, and it's one of my favorite games, so I'm really, really happy about that. That's like the major update, I guess? I don't know. What else was I gonna say? I think that's about it, though, for a week and updates and stuff like that. So I feel like I'm not going to waste your time anymore thinking of stuff I was either intending to say or didn't but forgot. And we're just going to dive into teachers. I'm going to end on a good note, so we're going to start with the not-so-great teachers. Or at least one in particular that I have in mind, because there was a particular situation that infuriated me. And, yeah. So, I had a communication teacher back in high school, and, it was all, like, basically, oh, you basically make audio presentations and stuff like that, like fake, like, mock radio ads or mock radio shows, or something like that, it was basically that kind of deal. And I thought it was, like, the coolest thing ever, because, I don't know, it's really, really cool to me, right? So, this teacher, though, for this class, I don't think he was actually qualified to teach it. That, and he didn't really care about it. So, one, he basically didn't know how to use any of the software that he was supposed to be teaching us to use. Like, at all. And two, he wasn't even in the room. Like, 90% of the time, he'd be in the back room just sort of hanging out on his computer, doing God knows what. So he wouldn't even be around to actually teach the class. The last time I took that class, I was paired up with a particular peer who happened to have a learning disability. I don't honestly know what one, but I was fine with that at first because I'm like, alright, no, this is cool. I can work with this, and I didn't have a problem with it. So the problem arose when I started taking O&M and music. O&M is basically, I guess just teaching practical skills to people who need it in terms of travel and stuff like that. It was a school for the blind, so they had stuff like that. And then of course, my individual bass lessons with my music instructor. So that interrupted basically half of that communications class, which I didn't really care because I did the work so quickly anyway, and there was barely any work to do, because again, the teacher was like never there to give out assignments, unless you had to actually ask for them. You had to ask your teacher to give you the assignment that he was supposed to assign to you. Oh, right? So, I decided, since this teacher was not, teaching, I would try to help my partner out, right? So I decided, hey, I'm gonna write you, like, a step-by-step tutorial on how to get this program set up for you so you can record things on your own. Because prior to that point, I would be setting it all up for her because she didn't know what to do, kind of thing, and I tried explaining it to her, but it didn't really register. And to be fair, there were a lot of steps. It took me several, like, months to learn it the first time around, so I'm like, okay, well, you know what? To be fair, she's never, like, even, like, learning disability aside, she's never used this program before. It's a very foreign thing to her. and stuff like that. So I like to think I was pretty understanding. Like, it took me several months to learn it. So I'm like, alright, so I'm gonna write down everything for you. And so when you come into class and I'm not here, I want you to open this document and, you know, follow its instructions to set everything up, you know? Which she could easily do. I even wrote out all the key commands individually with... I wrote out all the freaking screen reader key commands that I never used because I don't like using a screen reader for stuff like that. I should have. It probably would have made my life easier, actually. But that's irrelevant. I wrote everything out step by step for her, you know? And I even saw her, like, I asked her, can you use this right now and show me that you can actually follow it, because if it's not worded properly, I can fix it for you. So that's what I basically did that class, was kind of like go over it with her time and time again to get this document to the point where, you know, she could understand it later, kind of deal. So I feel like I shouldn't have had to do that. It should have been the teacher's job to do that. But that's that. And I find out at the end of the year for our final assignment, she had lost the document, didn't tell me about it. I could have given her another one. And she ended up refusing to actually do the final project. And I was ordered to complete her project. And I'm like, okay, well, in that case, I better be getting 100%, because I'm sorry I did not sign up to do someone else's work. The whole point of being somebody's partner is that you split the work, and I'm not doing all that work. If she needs help, then she can ask for it. She could have asked me for it, and I would have helped her. But, you know, she just sort of came to me and was like, yeah, so teacher's, like, demanding that you go in there and finish it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not moving. And she's like, well, you gotta go, like, right now. I'm like, yeah, he's gonna be waiting a long time. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing your work for you. I'm sorry. Like, you know, had she asked me, I would have considered. But I'm like, I'm not taking this demand, and this teacher shouldn't be taking this kind of shit. Because, he should be the one teaching and guiding, and he's not. So that was the worst teacher I've had. And I feel like I've rambled on about that for a long time, leaving little room for the good stuff. I've had a couple good teachers, actually. My bass instructor was really awesome. He was always, like, really chill and really encouraging, and even though I never got the hang of improv, you know, he was pretty chill about everything. He never gave me crap, like, and it's just unfortunate that, you know, other family gave me crap for not getting it right. Like, sometimes my cousin would get frustrated because I couldn't really play along as easily as him and my brother could. So when we'd have jam sessions, I'd kind of fade into the background and just eventually stop. And I never had that problem with my bass instructor and stuff at the school, because, like, he would just be pretty encouraging about the whole thing, never make me feel like crap for not being able to do a certain thing. Like, he'd acknowledge, yeah, you need more practice, but, you know, he'd also acknowledge, you can do all these things. This is something you need to work on, sure, but you've still come a really, really long way, kind of thing. So he'd always acknowledge the accomplishments as well as let me know what I needed to work on, kind of thing. And to me, that was the best thing. But unfortunately, as soon as I left high school, you know, that stopped, and I got really depressed when it came to playing the bass, and that's unfortunate. So I haven't really picked up the bass much since then, and that's kind of a bummer. But off the crap topics, he was great. He liked to, like, what am I trying to say? I need to word this correctly. He often, like, checked up on me and my brother, like, in terms of our well-being kind of thing. Like, if he knew we were having a bad day, he'd be like, hey, what's going on? Like, you know, listening ear. Just, like, let's talk about it and get it off your chest kind of thing. So he was really, really cool about that. I had another teacher in 6th grade. He was a volunteer fireman. He was really, really... He was like one of those fun teachers that did all kinds of awesome stuff that you wouldn't expect a teacher to do in a school. Like he used to bring in, before, like, literally the law came crashing down on the school, every Friday he'd bring in Timbits for everybody. And you know, he helped us out a lot in terms of learning and stuff like that. Whenever something was broken by accident, like there was one time my best friend and I forget what we were doing, but he had like a model plane hanging from the ceiling, and we somehow accidentally caused it to fall and break in too many pieces. And we were freaking out, and he came in and he's like, okay, well, you know, you guys know what happened, right? So you have learned from this, I assume. Don't do it again, and just be careful, kind of thing. And he was cool about it, and he even showed me other places where it had broken before that he glued back together. So he's like, alright, well, you're just gonna help me glue it back together, and we're gonna put it back up tomorrow, which is exactly what happened. So, I mean, that was a really cool experience to me, because, like, he wasn't, like... I was used to people just yelling at me as soon as some crap happened, like, as soon as I made a mistake or whatever. But he didn't. He was just like, hey, so, yeah, you know you shouldn't have done that. But we can make this right. Here's what we're gonna do. And, you know, he didn't... I still felt bad even after the fact, and he knew. But, he was really cool about the whole thing, and... You know, I don't know, I just feel like that made the whole, like, it just made me all that much more comfortable in his classroom, because, like, I was like, well, I'm not gonna get, like, the crap metaphorically beaten out of me for making a mistake. I can still just be like, alright, I need to fix this now. And, it really, I guess, encouraged me to work on problem solving, because I'm like, okay, well, here's a mistake I made. How am I gonna fix it? Can I fix it? You know? And, I don't know, just like a jumpstart to critical thinking, I guess, because I never really thought about that kind of thing up until that point. I was just always kind of like, oh crap, I made a mistake, freak out time, hide from the yelling, and yeah. So that was a really cool thing, and, you know what, guys? I'm gonna go ahead and quit rambling, because I feel like I've talked a good bit about teachers. If you guys have any teacher stories you'd like to share, I have plenty more if you wanna hear more as well. But yeah, if you guys have any stories about teachers, whether it's good, bad, or in between, feel free to share it in the comments down below. Also, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and say thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to check out other series on my channel and join the Minchino clan on Discord. Everything's in, well, the Minchino clan's in the Discord. Or in the description. I can't words! Okay, so Discord links down below. Playlist will probably be coming up now on the end screen. And yeah, guys, thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And until next time, Minnie out.